I'm here with Tom Richmond and Desmond Devlin. Both have great careers with Mad Magazine. They're now branching out and doing their own book of movie parody, something that they became really well known for. I'm most excited about Psycho.
Psycho came out in 1960. Mad had started doing parodies back then, but they hadn't really started. It was a few years later where you started getting a parody in every issue.
Right.
So we were looking back for movies like that were missed in particular. And we're also looking for at least one black and white movie because we thought it'd be good for the overall look of the book.
And Psycho had always been on our short list of movies that we really wanted to do. Some movies are really dark, like with a lot of shadows, and this one is very dark. It's got a lot of shadows. There's shadows on the wall. There's shadows all over the place. Hitchcock, is known for that sort of thing. Lots of faces where you don't see half the face. It's in shadow, And so I'm going to be doing that, when we do the art for this.
One of the things right off the bat I noticed in the splash page was the Tweety bird being a stuffed bird.
I had in the script, have him sewing, a notable bird of your choice.
Oh, okay.
And then Tom's the one who decided to make it Tweety bird as opposed to, any other bird you might think of.
And then I add visual gags that I just come up with on my own too.
So I just try to write the scripts as visually as possible because otherwise it's a lot of people standing around with word balloons floating over their heads.
Alfred Hitchcock's going to show up a lot in this parody. That was something that Des suggested. He said we should have him do cameos in just in all the weirdest places.
As possible. I suggested 3 ways, and Tom's going to draw a dozen ways. And so there's another example. I was super familiar with Psycho already. So basically, one thing I did, I took a copy of the movie. I was watching it very slowly, just basically writing out all the scenes in order. So I could do the scenes. I could, there's lines in the movie I could do, not just the 3 or 4 that everybody knows. But you want to make sure that you have the sequence of events, correct. So then you can pick out these are the scenes that must be included, and then these are the scenes that are not necessarily as ripe for a comedy, and then you sort of fill it in to make the sequential parody make sense to somebody who may not have seen the movie like you were talking about. If you were to name these 5 scenes must be in the Psycho parody, you're going to name 5 scenes that everybody no disagreements.
I really wanted to work the motel sign, the neon sign into the splash page somehow, but I would have had to have been behind where the title was and stuff, and I didn't want to mess that up. So, like I said, I had to take some liberties with where the house and the hotel were situated to one another. But I know people are sticklers, especially a movie like this. I mean, people have been watching this movie for 60 years. So all the furniture, like the lamp, and the radio on Marion's nightstand are exactly the right ones. One benefit of us doing older movies is that, because when we do a movie that's in the theaters, I'd have to go to the theater and watch, unless I took my little handy cam and copied it. I was reliant on either memory or trailers or stills that I could get off the internet or whatever. But now, I can get a DVD of the movie and I can see exactly what the environment looks like and what the wallpaper looks like and stuff. It's great.
That's great. So far it looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. What is your favorite horror movie?
Psycho is certainly one of them. Maybe The Shining was another one.
Well, I'm a huge Stephen King fan of his novels. The Shining is one of the best. I also really liked the It movies that just came out. As far as my absolute favorites, I've got a couple of horror movies that are those kind of movies that you can just pop in anytime to watch. So I really like 28 Days Later. It's like the first time I saw a zombie movie where the zombies weren't shambling.
I know you guys are on a crowdfunding page right now. It's Indiegogo, right? CLAPTRAP. You can also get it probably off of tomrichmond.com, right?
Yep, there's a little link there. Or if you just go to Indiegogo and search for CLAPTRAP, that's the name of the book, it'll take you right there. As of this recording, we've got about 10 days left on the campaign. But once the campaign is over, it'll switch to an in-demand thing. So you're still going to be able to pre-order the book all the way up to the time we ship it. So But we do have a couple stretch goals we're hoping to reach that adds more content. So if anybody's thinking about, wanting to get a copy of this, now's the time, because you might be able to get more book that way.